Get your CGR shirts and glassware at ClassicGameRoom.com. Classic Game Room is brought to you by Magnum Skywolf. CGR is supported by fans on Patreon. Thank you. Welcome to Classic Game Room for the review of Robocop on the NES. Part man, part machine, all game. Do not store Robocop in extreme temperatures. Do not immerse Robocop in water. Do not clean Robocop with benzene. That would be bad. Nobody punches Robocop in the Roboballs and lives. Thank you for your cooperation. It's Robocop for the Nintendo Entertainment System from 1988 by Data East. Part man, part machine, all game. The future of law enforcement on the NES. Is it any good? Is it as good as the movie? Because as we all know, Robocop is one of my all-time favorite films. It's a cinematic masterpiece on every level. It's brilliant. Does the game live up to the movie? No. But did you really expect it to be? I mean, there's no way they could have made an NES game in the 80s that captures the true majesty of Robocop. There's not a single instance in this game where anyone does coke off a hooker, no one dips their fingers into a wine glass and snorts it, no one's arm gets blown off, nobody gets drenched in toxic waste and splattered all over the windshield. And most distressing of all, the I'd buy that for $1 TV show is nowhere to be seen. Robocop. You know, the world has gone insane when the news in Robocop seems like a good day. Never have we needed Robocop more. The question is, do you need this game in your NES collection? Choose your 80s action movie. Odds are there's a half-assed NES game based on it, like Robocop, Predator, Total Recall, Lethal Weapon, even Platoon. Yes, there's a game based on Platoon. No, it's not very good. In fact, it's even worse than this. Robocop on the NES is pretty average for this crappy licensed movie game genre. It's got great music, it has a nice style, but Robocop really shouldn't have any trouble defeating a bunch of unarmed suburban teenagers. How are any of the enemies in this game a threat to him? Robocop's biggest challenge is getting through levels before his time meter runs out, because Robocop is very slow. Thankfully, there's Game Genie codes for this game because I have no patience for it. I really don't care for any of these mediocre side-scrollers anymore. They were kinda cool back in the day, but they're just straight memorization now. Also, Robocop the video game just focuses on the action in Robocop. It's an easy mistake to make, but Robocop is far more than just another 80s testosterone-fueled action film. It's the subtlety that makes Robocop so good. And that subtlety is completely missing from the game. Which really isn't surprising because there's no way they could have possibly captured it. Like the scene when he punches the guy out of the mayor's office window and he lands on the ground. Pay attention to the TV cameras. The directing in Robocop is brilliant. But he's a super likable character, and numerous Robocop properties have been based on him, like comic books, cartoons, a Robocop pinball machine, and many Robocop video games, none of which come close to the movie. Oddly enough, the Robocop pinball machine captures the spirit of Robocop more than anything else. I'm not sure how that's possible, but it is. But Mark, I'm collecting for the NES. Should I add Robocop to my shelf? Absolutely, if it's on Laserdisc. But I would pass on Robocop for the NES. I really would. It just doesn't come close. And it's not a great standalone game either. There's just way better side-scrolling action games on the Nintendo, like Contra, for example. Contra manages to capture the sweaty testosterone-fueled style from the 80s, and it's a good game. To be fair, Robocop the video game does pay homage to the movie pretty well at times. The environments and backgrounds look good, especially the steel mill level, which looks like it comes straight out of Robocop, without the toxic waste scene. And nobody gets punched in the throat either, or thrown out of the back of a moving van. As you might expect, Ed 209 makes an appearance, as does the Cobra Assault Cannon, which has limited ammo, so you may want to save that for some of the boss battles. I like that Robocop on the NES exists, but no, it's not one of my favorites. In fact, I've been thinking about what the best 80s action movie-inspired NES game is, and the only one that really comes to mind is Top Gun. I know that many of you enjoy these kinds of games. Personally, I just kept running out of time. Robocop is so slow. He needs his Ford Taurus. Robocop isn't a very long game, and it doesn't cost very much either. In fact, you might be able to buy that game for $1. Not me, though. I'm saving that money for another VHS copy of TJ Laser. Stay out of trouble, Robocop. Can you fly, Bobby? Can you fly? Oh, you're still here. Bitches leave. If you're going to buy the game anyway, buy it through ClassicGameRoom.com. Classic Game Room is supported by fans on Patreon. Thank you. Now prepare for the Lord Carnage Club, where I celebrate these backers on Patreon by shouting their name in a volcano! Derek Langley. Beer is the trick. Stephen Chucknick. From New Jersey! Michael Fernandez! People not named Michael Fernandez aren't Michael Fernandez. Al Stiver! Woo! EDM! Jason from British Columbia. Philip Strabenmuller from Vienna, Austria. Cue the thunder. Jeff, Captain Dauntless, Briar. Cue the lava. I don't know what lava sounds like. It sounds like this. Jack Stavris from Australia. Ohad Kane, Master of Thunder. Chip Sankvale, Fighter of Space Bees. Woo! Rick DeBarros gets the extra disco. Michael and Ariana Nelson, Fighters of the Future. That's enough disco, because now it's time to shout, Busy Signal! That's right, and keep the volume loud, and the party rocking for... Sean Zoltek. Really? No. Sean Zoltek! Sergio Matthias Hergert! Tubular. Will.